Alright, so we're all chilling. I'm puzzled as always, and I wondered if the coffee that I was drinking was sustainably grown and ethically grown. Mia wondered the same. She wondered if Starbucks was, sustainable and ethical. So I had an idea. I wanted to travel to all the coffee shops in Victoria that grow ethically grown coffee, such as Hey Happy, and talk with the owners and the workers about their opinions on direct trade and fair trade coffee and the issues around it. So first, what is sustainability and how does it apply to coffee?
A brief description of sustainability is that a company must meet the needs of today without jeopardizing the needs of tomorrow.
Applying this to coffee, that means that the coffee produced has to positively affect the 3 Ps. Now, you might be wondering, what are the 3 Ps? The 3 Ps are people, planet, profit. So that is positively affecting the farmers involved, the environment around it, and the profit, everyone to make money. What is direct trade and what is fair trade coffee?
Direct trade is more working directly with the farmer. Right. Whereas fair trade, you're often going through some form of cooperative or a middleman, and it's a different standard. Whereas direct trade, the farmers and the roasters set the standards of what they want.
Coffee that is certified as fair trade must follow the specific fair trade standards. How do you view fair trade and direct trade coffee?
When you're dealing directly with farmers, rather than going through any other third-party thing, and you're able to work just from the roaster to the farm and the growers, you're able to mutually achieve that at a way higher level than possible.
What does sustainable coffee mean to you?
You can have people picking only the ripest cherries at the exact right point. They can go through much more intensive screening, more focus in drying, and all these different points throughout the process of getting that final green bean.
There are 3 standards when it comes to direct trade and fair trade coffee. The first one is transparency. There has to be a clear communication between the farmers and the buyers to make sure there's no funny business, no nothing, just clean work. The second one is respect. The buyers have to respect the farmers, and the farmers have to respect the buyers and what kind of bean that they want. And the third is equity. Fair trade strives to improve equity and fair treatment in international trading as much as possible. Did you notice the management concept? The Bows and Arrows Coffee Company, as well as every other coffee company we talked to, showed a proactive view to social responsibility. They believe it was ethically right for them to work with direct trade and fair trade coffee. These companies take action to be involved with their suppliers to ensure the best for them and the company.
Did you notice the management concept? The Bows and Arrows coffee roasters were a leader in change and improvement. Unlike most coffee companies, they want to ensure their coffee is organically grown and leaves a positive effect on the environment.
Growing sustainable coffee is all in the farmer's control. A sustainable farm will strive to use renewable resources. Farmers can use coffee husks as a heating resource rather than cutting down other trees. Sustainable farms also want to be very environmentally conscious. They want to ensure that they use fertilizers, equipment, and other resources that minimize pollution and waste. Farmers can reuse composted coffee pulp, for example, as a fertilizer, which has proven to increase harvest and soil quality. Sustainable farmers should also care for their employees, meaning that the farm provides education programs, medical care, decent wages, and good working conditions for all staff.
Alright, so we learned that there's a difference between direct trade and fair trade coffee, but when we were speaking with Rob, who's the owner of Hey Happy and works closely with roasteries such as Bows and Arrows and Heart Coffee, we learned that over 90% of their coffee isn't fair trade. It's direct trade. They actually prefer this to fair trade because there's no regulations, there's no nothing. It's just speaking directly with the farmer, so you're gonna pay them more anyways than fair trade, but you're just in closer communication, there's no middleman, and you just get the best quality bean possible. So it's obvious that quality is an essential for these roasters, but it's also just the ethics behind it. It's a good moral practice working with direct trade and fair trade coffee, and that's why it's striving to do it with more coffee shops. One more thing to keep in mind about direct trade and fair trade coffee. Since the farmers are growing in such a small lot, creating such a small quantity of beans, just a higher quality of beans, the ecosystem around it can grow. If you're growing in a shade-grown area, growing in the shade, it can create a habitat for more birds to live, so you're just helping the environment around as well. One last thing, is it an issue for these coffee houses not to be using sustainably grown coffee? Yes, it still is. Think about it, there's 3 waves of coffee. First wave, Tim Hortons. Second wave, Starbucks. Third wave, these very specialty coffee shops that bring in beans from these little tiny farms. if all the other coffee shops still aren't producing ethically grown beans, it's still a huge issue about not paying their farmers fairly. And just clear cutting more area to get more and more and more beans. So what can we do? We have to care about where our beans are coming from. If you're supporting one of the third wave coffee shops, one of the specialty coffee shops, good on you and keep doing it. And if you're not, think about it. It costs the same as Starbucks to get a drink from there, and you're getting a way better bean. You're getting a way better cup of coffee that is not only gonna taste better, but you're also doing a good thing. All the way back to the farmers. Thanks so much.